Live from America's heartland, this is the Daily Truth Report with your host, Noah Christopher.
Hey, all right. Welcome back to the Daily Truth Report. And by popular demand, and I do mean very popular, we have Bo Polny back with us for the very first time since the huge silver and gold spike. And Bo, it's so great to have you back on the show.
Thanks, Noah. Yes, much to talk about. And we're about to see a huge victory, the victory of victories that we've been waiting for, in this case, thousands of years for God to intervene. And we're about to see it. And, the stage is set for one of the greatest time points in human history. So thanks for having me back, Noah. And absolutely, silver is the marker.
Take us away. Everyone wants to hear from you, but where do you want to start?
The best place to start is understanding time. And why I want to say that is because, Noah, what happened on April 21? If you want to pop the screen up.
Sure.
What happened? Okay. Remember this event?
Yes.
Okay. So we did several podcasts, and the prophecy was very specific that something in reference to death is going to trigger on April 21. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if there was a marker for the death of the religion or, the religious, the church era, I would definitely pin that on the Pope because, talking billions of people around the world. Okay. So he died, and specifically April 21. You can't make this stuff up. And it literally happened the day that we spoke of. We didn't know who was going to die, but we found out it was a Pope. Now, the other thing was, how old was he, Noah?
I guess 88, according
88 years. That's right. 88 years old, right? So he's dead at 88, and then Klaus Schwab steps down as he enters his 88th year. So the prophecy is, this is the end of darkness, and it begins. So the beginning of the end. Does that make sense? So things begin here. Mm-hmm. It's the beginning. It's a starting point. All right. And then between those, we're looking into a birth. Well, the birth would normally be 9 months-ish, right? Mm-hmm. Depending on it's 40 weeks, 42 weeks, whatever, but some of the 9-month range. And then after a birthing process, a new is born, and a new would represent the kingdom age, where we should see silver begin to explode to numbers we can't even imagine. Okay. So why I'm saying this is because this is very important. This number 421 is very important in reference to starting to count. Okay. So why I'm saying that is because this ties in with the name of God. Mm-hmm. So in my book, you'll see that it's in Hebrew, it's in brown here, it's 717. So the name of God is Lord, Jehovah, Yahweh, Adonai, Hashem, El Shaddai. That's his name, and we're representing his name and his character. But in numbers, his name is 717. Let that sink in. His name is 717. If you go from 1 to 7, you got a Q, and you go from 1 to 7 backwards, you got another Q. Okay. So that's why it's interesting. And if you add them up, you get 8, would be a new beginning. So 421, death of the Pope, 9 months, 17 days. And we get to February 6, 2026.
Okay.
Did anything happen February 6, 2026? Now, if you had to, remember we did that video, and you sent me that video like a year or two ago in reference to specifically this mathematical calculation. Remember this one?
Oh, the 421. It's so cool. Yeah, the Collatz conjecture.
Oh, that's conjecture. So any mathematical equation, it forms a menorah, okay? Ultimately, it forms a menorah, and then it goes down into 16/8, then it goes 8, 421, and then it loops 421, 421 loop.
Yep.
So it loops at 421, but it starts with an 8 and it drops to 4 and it loops at 421. And why I'm showing you this is because this ties in specifically with what I'm going to show you with the name of God. So we're going to go back here and we got 421. Now, interesting, February is what month? Based on what, the Gregorian calendar, it's the second month.
Mm-hmm.
Six day, 2-6, add it up, 8. More importantly, it's the year 26. So in other words, something big or important, like a turning point, should have occurred on February 6th, 2026, which is last Friday, okay? So what happened last Friday that was important? Oh, this is crazy, Noah. Check this out. So this is the death of the Pope in blue here, okay? So here's your death of the Pope. There's your death of the Pope right there. See that? The ball candlestick right there. April 21, Pope is dead. But most importantly, the gold to silver ratio hits a bottom to the exact day. So, and that's the 421 right there. So this is telling us that the 421 cycle is giving us information on what is about to happen in our world. So now, if we look at 421, then what's the reverse of 421? 124, right? Opposite. 421, 124. Okay, so we go through a process of 9 months, 17 days. In that process of 9 months, 17 days, silver rises 124.8%. And it tops out on January 24th.
It sure did. Boy, we all watched it go. It was incredible to watch this, Bo.
So January 24th is 124 on the Gregorian calendar.
On the 124, wow.
And it goes up 124% relative to gold.
Jeez.
So silver outperformed gold 124.8. 1248%. Like, I knew you would love this because
that's incredible.
Because you understand, because you were the one that showed me this, and then I basically took it the next level. But thank you for showing me this, because this is crazy, right?
Even got the 8 in there.
Yes, it's even got the 8 in there. That's what I'm trying to show you, right? It's like
amazing.
how. So the only way Noah, this can be happening is an act of God, right? Now let's continue. So remember, what the Lord showed me a while ago was the calendar that we're using, and we talked about this. Remember this calendar, the Gregorian calendar that we use right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If you lived in 1582, you'd go to bed on the 5th, wake up on the 14th. They removed 10 days from the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Presently, that calendar is 13 days behind.
Mm-hmm. Okay?
So the Julian calendar, which is a true calendar, which is the calendar when Christ walked on the earth, that calendar is 13. Again, people say, why is it 13? Because that's how it works, okay? It stretches because of the cycles. But as of today, it's 13 days behind. So why I'm saying this is because the calendar that we use right now is a fraud, okay? The devil uses calendars to confuse everybody. So when Babylon falls, Noah, why would its calendar stand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if Babylon falls, its money system falls, its church system falls, its school system falls, its political system falls, its entertainment system falls. If all the hills fall of Babylon, what would cause the Gregorian calendar to stand? Nothing. It's going to fall too. So ultimately, we're going to move back to the Julian calendar. Okay, so why I say this is because the Julian calendar technically should be, I believe, what the calculations are indicating, it started the next cycle. Because look at this. Last Friday on the red arrow here was February 6th. Last Friday.
Okay.
But on the Julian, it was 1, 2, 4.
That is truly incredible.
January 24th.
Wow.
Like Noah, you gotta laugh, okay? Yeah. And this weekend, you know what the price was all weekend?
Oh, 77.70.
Like Come on. If this ain't divine,
Yeah, that is incredible. Bo, let me just let me share my screen here for a second. I'll put this back on in just a moment, but just to show people, here we go. Let me do this and let me do this. There we go. And because I know you're probably too humble to toot your own horn, but I just wanted to show people, this is the 5-year chart of silver. It's actually silver futures, but this is the 5-year chart. And I just wanted to show people, Bo has been coming on this show. You see my mouse moving across here all of these years. I think it was 2021 was your first year. So you've been coming on all this time. You know, look at the price up there, $21, 19, 18, 20, 18. So many shows we've done, Bo, and you have just been preaching about silver, and then it just goes. And I think the highest I saw it reach was like 121. So from $18 and $19 to 21 or to 121. I just wanted to throw that up there because, Bo, I have gotten so many emails, so many messages, so many comments from people saying how much they have enjoyed listening to you over the years. And you know, we can't give anyone personalized financial advice, but we can talk about the things that we're seeing out there. We can talk about charts. We can talk about financial analysis, that type of stuff. And that's what you've done. You know, you do time analysis. We can talk about all that, and then people can choose what they want to do for themselves. But so many people made the choice to buy gold and silver when silver was in the $20 range, and then they're either up big or they've sold at a huge profit. So I just wanted to put that up there for you to say, you know, incredible job, amazing, absolutely amazing. I cannot tell you how many times I got emails and comments from people during this time right here saying, Noah, you're an idiot. It's never going to go over 30. Never going to happen. You know, you're a real fool if you think it's going to go over 30, and then 121. So anyway, congrats, Bo. A really great job. But I think people are now and are curious. I know I am. I've even got family members asking me, well, what should we be doing here? Should we be buying more? Should we be selling? Love to just get your thoughts in general or anything in that area that you have in mind.
Imagine buying it. Most people bought it in the $20 range. Okay. Right now, like you said, it's like what, 84 right now.
That's right.
Understand, you know, you're basically 4x, 4 times in the money. So if you put $10,000 in, you're what? You're like at 40,000 right now. Okay. Yeah. Understand that that's only a teaser to what is coming, because silver, everybody listen closely here. Silver is going to be the #1 performing asset globally of everything. Okay. It's going to blow away XRP, blow away Bitcoin, blow away gold, everything that you think it might outperform. No, silver is going to outperform everything.
Wow. Because
they have manipulated it for generations. Okay. Forever. And when it goes, it's going to go to true price discovery, Noah. And remember, we talked about true price discovery. They've been manipulating it for generations to keep it cheap. So when it starts to go, and the key is lose control. Okay. When they lose control, then you're going to see XRP spike vertical, Bitcoin spike vertical. But the biggest and the quickest spike is going to be silver. Okay. Silver's leading everything right now from a cycles perspective. Remember, we did this, the cycle work, and we did a podcast of November 2021, in the year 2021. And we called the bottom there on Bitcoin at 15,000 to the exact day.
Oh, yeah.
From that cycle point, I basically knew that Bitcoin would run vertical no matter what anybody said, no matter what anybody did. Bitcoin was going to have an upcycle with the cryptocurrencies, but mainly Bitcoin was going to have an upcycle into the 3rd, 4th week of September 2025. Okay, so that was a cycle.
That's in Bo's newsletter. It's historical. It's in there.
So Bitcoin had an upcycle until the last week of September, and the tops can vary by a few weeks sometimes. But I think it topped out at 124,000. It topped out like I think it was September, October. But in 4 years earlier, I still knew by the third, fourth week of September, a massive, important top's going to be put in. Okay, look what happened. Okay, Bitcoin has sucked. Okay, it's been unimpressive and boring ever since October of last year. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
It's been boring. Okay, why? Because the money is now flowing into silver, and this is what everybody in cryptocurrency needs to pray for. Okay, an act of God, because without an act of God, your Bitcoin is got a down cycle for the next year. Without an act of God, your Bitcoin's got a down cycle for the next year. With an act of God, that thing's going to rip this year. Okay? Because when God intervenes, what ends up happening is that the controllers, the manipulators are gone. Okay? But who takes them out? Silver. And silver takes out the manipulators. And when they're gone, they lose control on not some things, all things. Go ahead, Noah.
I was just going to ask it. It kind of feels like they've lost control already. When it ran up to 121, they did get it down into the 80s, and we've been kind of hovering there. What when you say lose control, is there a price target for when that happens?
Yeah. So here's the chart. Now, again, please go to our prior podcast. This is the exact same chart that I've shown on your podcast, Noah, for probably the last 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Same chart. Now, what the Lord showed me years ago, when you draw chart patterns and cycles on silver, you never draw it horizontally. Okay. You tilt it. There you go, like that. Can you see my fingers?
There you go.
There you go. So you got to tilt it. Now, when you look at this, why is it accurate? Because look at the Hunt brothers here at $49.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is, $49. Exact top. Okay. And then what happened was 2011, right here, you've got this spike into $49.83. And then we're going to go to the right side of the page here. And you've got, I'm going to zoom in here further. And then you've got the Christmas breakout. So it went, this dashed black line, that was resistance. And that line was at $71.50. So they say $72. When it took out $72, okay, what do we say? 121 becomes a magnet. Remember that?
Yeah, well, yeah. And I remember you saying once it gets over 72, it's going to be like a knife through butter. And it was. I mean, it just ripped.
Yeah. And I believe in the last podcast, I said, because it blew through it right here at Christmas time, I made an assumption that it could blow through it at 121. Instead, what happened, it ran out of time. But guess what number it hit? 121, to the exact mark. Going back to 1980. How accurate is this? It's freaky accurate.
That's awesome.
Okay, so the chart, and it predicts the bottom here, the midway point, and the exact top to the exact price point. To the exact price point. Let that sink in. To the exact price point. Okay, and since it didn't break out, what did it do? They slammed it all the way back down to where? $71.
Yeah, they did. I saw
and then it came, and then as we speak today, it's at 84. Okay, so you want a number? This is it right here. It's 121.
Go right back to testing the top.
And when it takes it out, that's the roof getting ripped off. Because what's $3 higher, Noah?
124.
Right?
Yep.
Take out 124, and it will be the greatest, the most spectacular move of silver in human history. So those that are saying, what's next? It's not even a question of what's next. It's this is not an opinion. It's prophecy. My God doesn't lie. Okay. So the prophecy is that the roof gets ripped off of silver. We never knew what the roof was. Now we know it's 121.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the prophecy was the roof gets ripped off of silver and then it explodes with a volcanic eruption in a national park.
Mm-hmm. You've been seeing that, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what national park and on what day, because God's not going to reveal. That's a very important day that's going to happen on, but it's very, very, very soon.
I like that.
I believe it's before February 24th. Because if you go to our last podcast, I think I showed this here, but our last podcast, we're in the death cycle right now of Noah's Ark. And the cycle itself, the death cycle, 40 days of rain. And that 40 days of rain ends specifically on February 24th. Okay? So the death cycle, which started, is very interesting, but I think before the 24th, we could see silver, and we probably will see silver massively explode to the upside. Okay? Now, Noah, I know that many of your viewers are not technical analysts or whatever, but I'm going to show you a chart here. And I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to figure this one out. Look at this. Okay, this is today, February 11th, and silver as we speak is gold as we speak is $5,090. Okay. Can you see what I laid out there to the right and left of it? It's called a ascending triangle. Okay. Look what happens when it breaks out of the ascending triangle. Here's another example. Okay. So Noah, what do you think is going to happen to gold? And remember, what is good for gold is great for silver, because silver moves with gold, but on steroids. So it just moves faster and higher and harder. Right. So what is this gold chart telling you that gold and silver are about to do?
Oh, yeah, it looks like it's out of time. It's ready to go.
That's right. Okay, is it tomorrow, the next day? I don't care. Silver's going to rip vertical with gold. And, there might be another day we could squeeze, or a day or two squeeze out of this. But there's so little time left for this thing to reverse. And I do want to go back to this chart here. Remember the 4-2-1 cycle. Remember, let's go back to here. This is important, okay? So the 4-2-1 is the death cycle into a transition of 9 months and 17 days, ending on February 6th, which is on the Julian 1-2-4. Are you with me? So the name of God, I'm going to repeat this. This is wild. The name of God is telling us that silver to gold ratio bottomed here at 4-2-1 and ran 9 months and 17 days, and then bottomed again at 1-2-4. Bottomed at that date, which means the only direction silver and gold are going, Noah, is what? Up. From January 24th, Julian, or February 6th on the Gregorian calendar. Okay. That's the only direction it's going. I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care about anybody's opinion, because the Lord said that he's going to rip the roof off of silver. When that event happens, a volcanic eruption will occur, and it's going to be the greatest one-day move ever in the history of finance, okay? Which means we've seen days where silver has moved already like $10, maybe 12, whatever it's been in a single day. It's going to be multiples of that. Let that sink in. We could go from 124 to 200 in a single day. Wow. I don't know. I'm just saying, when it breaks, okay, when silver breaks through 121, okay, its next target, there's Fibonacci numbers that are $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, okay? They're not going to happen like right away, but 600 is a no-brainer. It's just not going to happen right away. The first no-brainer is $200, okay? That's coming super quickly. Why? Because God said he's going to explode his money. Haggai 2, verse 8, the silver is mine, the gold is mine, saith the Lord. The roof is at 121. The roof is going to get broken, not an opinion, it's prophecy. When 121 breaks, you're going to see the greatest one-day explosion in human history.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Everybody has been asking me, what is Bo saying? And you just got it, everybody. That is incredible. Bo, I remember you coming on this show and talking about, silver was, if it moved $1 a day, it was an exciting day. And I remember asking you on this show, are there going to come days where it's going to move $5 or even $10 in a day? And we just lived through it. It just happened. So buckle up for more, it sounds like.
Yeah, today it closed up $3.30. Let me just see here. As we're speaking right now, the market's closed roughly in 10 minutes. But as we're speaking right now, silver is up $3.54. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. As we speak, silver is up $3.54. Now, let that sink in. It doesn't even sound like a lot right now, does it, Noah? But we would, if we saw a $3.54 day a year ago, we would be dancing off on our rooftops going, holy mackerel, silver is up $3.54 on a single day. We'd be freaking out. And right now, this is just another day another day in history. This is just like an average day. Okay. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The moves that we're seeing now, they're epic. They're not 30-cent moves. We're used to 30 cents up and down forever, 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. Now, on a boring day, it's $3.54.
That's so true. That is so true. Now it just feels normal. It's quick. It's funny how quickly that happens. But
yep.
Well, Bo, I wanted to just briefly mention here, people, we always have huge shows when you're on. Everyone's always excited to be here. Everyone's saying, I can't believe I finally caught a live show. And then I used to tell people or ask people to say what state they're from. But on the show today, we have Australia. We have, let me scroll up here. I caught some other, we have the UK. We have, I think I saw the Netherlands. We had another United Kingdom. So we're truly going global right now, and that's incredible, or at least maybe I should say worldwide. So that's cool. So everyone, thanks for being here with us. If you have questions, I am monitoring the chat. I'll try and get them in here. How high will silver go in your opinion? I think we just answered a lot of that. The true number might not be known because it's uncharted territory.
Yeah. The true number is not known, but it's beyond 4 digits. Okay, so It's just going to be huge. Remember, because Babylon loses control, and then the price explosion is going to be historic, and it's just going to keep running. And and they're going to try to control it for a while. They'll slam it back down, then it explodes again. They're going to slam it back down. It's going to explode again. So it's going to be very volatile. You just sit and enjoy the ride. Avoid, I would just suggest do what you want, but it's going to be very difficult to try to sell your precious metals because the dealers are going to be freaking out. Okay, because they're not going to know what the heck is going on. It's up $10 in one day, then up $20 the next day, and so they're going to be very concerned. So at some point, eventually, everything kind of stabilizes. And, this latter part of this year, and Trump's going to reinstate the gold standard. And then things are going to stabilize at historically high prices. And then we're out of that transition zone. And then you'll be able to, sell some of your precious metals for whatever you want to get. And it's going to be the greatest time in human history because when I was on stage, the Lord revealed something very interesting. And I think you'll appreciate this, Noah. He who controls the money supply promotes his God. Right? So the globalists have been controlling the money supply forever, thus promoting their God. Lowercase g, plural, S, fallen angels, the fallen ones. Okay? Right. When the wealth transfer hits, God's going to flip the scales and he's going to rip away all the wealth in the great and terrible day. So this is about to happen this year, very soon here. The Joel 2:31 is going to happen. Starts with an angel of death, Red Sea miracle. This could happen literally before May. Most likely March into April.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe even sooner. Okay. Maybe April, maybe February into March. Okay. But very soon, this is about to go down. The great and terrible day when God moves, and in 24 hours, everything we know changes. And now the church has the money to do what? To take the name of Christ to the four corners of the earth. You see, the wealth transfer is to take the name of Christ to the four corners of the earth, because Christ will not return until his name is spoken across the four corners of the earth. But in order to take the name of Christ to the four corners of the earth, you need unlimited finance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens is the wealth transfer is the flipping of the scales, and thus allowing the church, in giving the church unlimited funding to take the name of Christ to the four corners of the earth. That's why everything we're saying here is scriptural. It's prophecy, okay? The year of the Lord's favor we're in right now. It started on the 4th of July, 2026. And in that year, there's just a single day. Why is it taking so long? Because when it happens, you're going to go, that didn't take long at all, 24 hours and everything's changed, right? Because when God moves in 24 hours, everything is changed.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
That day of vengeance happens before the 4th of July this year.
Well, listen, I want to tell everybody, just like I showed that chart of silver, and it didn't seem like it was happening, and it was low as 20, 19, 18, 21, 25. Bo's been talking about this for a long time too, and this has not yet happened yet, but keep your eyes open, everybody, because I have a feeling it's going to be like silver just replaying itself out again when that actually happens. Everyone's going to say, I never thought that could happen. I never thought that would actually happen. And then boom, it's going to happen, and it's going to be in the past.
Absolutely. Silver's going to take off. And remember, the key on this is what silver does, as you saw in the gold to silver ratio, okay, very important, that ratio we showed you, the 1 to 421, 124 pattern, it is telling us that February 6th was the key bottom, and the only direction silver and gold are now going is up. And they're going to keep going up until something key happens, until specifically 121 is broken. When 121 breaks, it's going to go immediately to 124, then explode like you've never seen before, okay? And that's imminent. It's about to happen. No one can stop it because why? It's prophecy. This ties into evil being removed off the face of this earth. There is an important date here in March 18th, 19th. It's God's New Year. So again, I would assume if it's a new year, we probably should have things finishing up before then, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So we should have the old finishing up and the new starting on the 19th of March. So we'll see how all that plays out. And all I got to tell you is watch silver, because the roof, the 121 roof, that is the trigger. When that breaks, the globalists lose control. When the globalists lose control, not only silver, but gold, cryptocurrencies reverse and take off, okay? But the most aggressive move will be that on silver, and it's going to be historic what's about to happen. So we're very close to events about to manifest here. I know you love XRP. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I want to ask you about crypto as we wrap up, and I know we need to wrap this up. We're a little short on time today. So before we hit crypto, as we close out, I think you got a slide somewhere on there for your book. We're going to do something really fun today. We've never done this before, but Bo's had this book out for a while, and a lot of people love it. Someone was just emailing me this week saying they were going to grab a copy of it, and I thought, let's do something fun here. So I asked Bo if he was up for it, and he said yes. We're going to do a giveaway of this book, and it's going to be personally signed by Bo. So if you would like to get that, I don't think there are many of those that exist in the world. We're going to just give one away to be totally for free. I will set up a raffle after we end this show. I'll put the link below this video wherever you're watching this, and I'll put the link on our website. It'll be 4 different ways to enter, all for free. And then in about 30 days, we'll pick a winner, and someone will get a autographed copy of this book. So we've never done that before. I just thought it would be fun. And thanks to Bo for agreeing to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. Okay, well, let's. So we'll do that. That's the exciting announcement. Something new today. But then let's wrap up here, Bo. We got maybe just a couple minutes. I definitely want to hear about crypto. We spent a lot of time on gold and silver. That's the hot thing right now. But yes, I love my XRP and Bitcoin. We want to hear about where is that going. By the way, I've got at the top of the screen, if you want more information on any of this, Bo comes on the show about once or twice a month, gives all this away for free. We're giving a book away for free. But if you want even more detail, he runs a newsletter. It's at gold2020forecast.com. You can get updates there. He puts out an update, usually a couple a week, something like that. It just depends on how fast things are changing. And he gives explicit details in there about time cycles, dates, and even targets for things like Bitcoin, XRP, where he sees those are going. So just like that chart he had on the screen with silver, he's got all the updates in there for Bitcoin, XRP, and a bunch of others. It's not just those two. He's got probably 10 or so in there that he covers. So that is at gold2020forecast.com. The link is at the very top of your screen right now. And if you're listening to this, if you want to sign up for it, you type in code WLT49. It's going to give you 50% off. You can get in there. You'll immediately have access. There it is, right on the main screen. You'll immediately have access to the entire backlog too. I always think it's fun to go in and look at where things are going, and then you can see the answer to the question. Bo said crypto is doomed for a year without a move of God. It also is going to see new heights that we've never seen before with a move of God. So you can see which one of those things Bo thinks is more likely to happen in the newsletter. But with that, Bo, wrap us up. Just any general thoughts? I know we have to be mindful to your paid subscribers, but anything you can share about XRP or Bitcoin as we wrap this up?
Well, I know you love XRP, and I did this actually just for you. And this is one of the charts that I actually have posted in my private newsletter. I removed a few of the things off of it, not to give away too much, but this is for you and your viewers. Okay, so here's a pattern analysis on XRP. You'll see in the purple zone, this is a channel right now.
Okay.
Very interesting drop. XRP dropped all the way down to $1.12.
Yeah.
On the same day, February 6th, last Friday.
Yes. Okay. It did. Yes.
And then it came right back up, and that's trading on support at the 55 EMA right now. Okay. So very unlikely for it to go lower. It could, but it's very strong support here at about $1. Okay. And then it's going to start turning up. And when it turns up, when it takes out this number of $3.42, this blue line, it will then explode. Okay. But it hasn't done that yet. It's in a down pattern, finishing up the down pattern. It will then sharply reverse. And when it takes out 342, expect a huge explosion. So again, I've got the time windows and patterns on that in the newsletter, but I just wanted your viewers to see, not all hope is gone in cryptocurrencies. It's just that you can see right here, this is your top. It came in here. It topped, XRP topped out, and then Bitcoin topped out a little later. But the crypto cycle is finished for a while. They're going to control the price of cryptocurrencies for a long time, unless God intervenes, because the cycle itself is on a 4-year pattern, 4-year cycle, and so that's going to stop. Okay, and the reason Bitcoin loses its 4-year cycle is because the coming act of God.
I love the sound of that. All right, everybody. Well, this has been a tremendous show. I've been so excited. We wanted to have Bo back on last week. It just didn't work out. So excited to have him back on today. And this is jam-packed. This might have been one of the shorter shows we've ever done, but just absolutely jam-packed with as much information as you could possibly want. So, Bo, let me turn this off. I always like to, there we go, get you back full screen. And I'll leave you with the last word, but thanks for coming on. Thanks for all the free information. I know people really enjoy it, and it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Go ahead and take us out.
Well, thanks, Noah. Again, thanks for being a friend. It's been a pleasure speaking with you over these past 4 or 5 years. And I go to conferences, and people always say, it's so fun when you and Noah do a show together. Your name comes up a lot. And you know why? Because people really appreciate you, Noah. They love hearing your voice. You know scriptures, and you are like myself. You know, we have never backed down to the truth. Okay, I want to repeat. Noah, like myself, we never waver in the truth, because the truth is the truth is the truth, and we know the truth. We know that God wins. We know that God's not going to allow the devil to enslave us and control us like he's been doing, because without an act of God, all that's left is we're this far away from heading into the one world government. Okay, that's it. And people, if you think the past 4 or 5 years were horrible, oh no. You don't even want to know what a one world system would be like. It is, it's something you can't even comprehend or imagine, because that's how horrible it would be. Okay. So understand that before that system ever comes to life, before it even has even a glimpse of manifesting, because God did allow a time for it. Okay. Mm-hmm. God's going to bring forth the greatest move of his spirit ever in the history of the world.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, and we're here to watch.
The front row seats.
Front row seats. What are we going to watch? 9/11 on steroids.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
No one is going to miss it.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be watching. It could happen any day now, any day, week, month. Well, Bo, thanks for coming on. Oh, hey, before you go, last time you were on, you were heading up to Canada to meet with Pastor Pawlowski. You had an event up there. How did that go?
Oh, the event was, Canadians are starving for this, starving for truth. Pastor Manny and I went there. Our wives were with us, and it was, oh, what a pleasure. Canadians are such beautiful people, and they were just starving. Both events that we did were packed. Every seat was taken. It was just incredible. Pastor Ham on the second event in Red Deer, Alberta, literally rented out an entire massive room, and he didn't know who was going to show up, and every single seat was taken. It was crazy awesome. So yeah, what a pleasure. The Canadians, in the US here, we've had the Reawaken America tour. We've had these ongoing conferences. Occasionally we'll go to, the Glory in America conference we're doing right now. So we've had conferences here and there, other prophetic voices showing up to people, to events in different cities, like His Glory will do occasional events. The thing is, Canadians don't have any of that because it's such a corrupt, because the government controls everything there, that the people that are awake are starving for the good news to show up to their country. So what a pleasure it was to be there. And we even had a few of them fly in from Canada this past weekend to meet us up in Florida just because they wanted more. So yeah, what a joy. We're going to be going back there again because it was awesome.
Oh, fantastic. I'm going to have to make one of those in the future. So that'll be something. So, well, listen, Bo, thanks for joining us. And thank you to everybody who's been on with us. This has been a great show. We will definitely have Bo back on again soon. And everybody be good. Take care. And Bo, thanks for being here. Bye, everybody.